Hey Virgos, and welcome to your April 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully an amazing reading for your month ahead. So I feel like there's a lot of endings coming for Virgos, lots of new beginnings, which is perfect because we're at equinox time. Literally just from like March 21st to 27th, there's been such a huge shift in energy, and I'm just delivering this reading now on the other side of that. So I'm sure you guys are feeling a lot of really up and down type of energy, not really knowing where you stand energetically, not knowing what decisions you need to make, kind of being really up in the air, almost more like a Libra type of energy coming in for you guys, which can be a little bit scattering for Virgo because you guys really like to know what your end game is. You guys like to make decisions. You enjoy the decision making process for the most part, unless you have a lot of Libra in your chart or Pisces or Gemini, but for the most part, you guys really like to be regimented in your decision making, and you usually have a very clear idea of what decision will lead you the best gain or best outcome. But right now, maybe Virgo, it's not feeling that way. Like you're not feeling like you have a good, solid idea of what decisions you need to make, of where you're going with your life, with your existence. And right now, it's just a period of time to accept those endings and be comfortable with them. It's a time to create abundance in your life, to create happiness without necessarily knowing exactly where your end game is or where your point B is. Like it's all about point A to point B in transition for you right now, Virgo. And you're making it more about that than it necessarily needs to be, despite that really being a big theme for you. So, I'm seeing a lot of themes for transformation. Obviously, you guys have the death card right in the center of your reading. That's such a huge deal for you. So transformative. I'm pretty sure that you guys are the only sign to have the death card come forward this month. I'm not positive on that. But you're also kind of weighing out your ego, and you're trying to decide what it means to be on higher ground now. You're trying to decide what it means to finally have power, because it seems that you get power in April as well, Virgos, if you don't already have it going into April. So you finally have more power over somebody, more power over other people, and now you're deciding, like, what do I do with this? How do I use this? Am I using this responsibly? Am I using this as much as I should, or more, or should I not be using it the way that I am? Those are all things that are coming forward for you, Virgos, and there are people also coming forward. It's been better to have an inward experience, but as we move into April, it's going to become much more outward, and we finally have the ability to, go after our goals more versus sinking within. So it seems like you guys maybe don't feel ready for that, because like I said, it's such a transitional time for you. You're moving forward, you're figuring out where your energy lies, but at the same time you feel like you might have skipped something, and you feel like you're not ready or something, because you've got a lot of energy of like nervousness or shuddering or being afraid of what the future holds with the 9 and the 10 of swords. So we're going to get specifically into that, Virgos, but I want to look at this reading now from the week to week point of view, and we'll see specifically what's coming forward for you guys. So in the first week, Virgos, you guys have the World over the King of Wands, and this is beautiful. To me, this says that you guys have really manifested what you needed to move forward from the last year, from the last motion of equinox to equinox, from March to March, from March 2016 to March 2017. It seems that you guys really had a good idea of what you needed to manifest, and you're coming forward into the new year with the right kind of energy, honestly, to create even more. But like I said, with some of these other cards in the spread, you guys are potentially self-deprecating yourself or invalidating what you've accomplished. The World coming up here, Virgo, is a message to not invalidate what you've accomplished, to not play down how far you've come, because maybe 2016 to 2017 Virgos, perhaps you didn't accomplish as much on the outside world as you wanted to, but there were a lot of strides made on the internal world. It's one or the other. Like, it's like you're not happy about a specific part of yourself, Virgos. Like maybe you accomplished too much in the exterior world or too much in the interior world, and you feel that you didn't accomplish enough on the other side of that. Like I see Virgos who really came to a major emotional understanding, potentially not making as much money as they wanted to. Likewise, I see Virgos who made a lot more money than they expected, potentially not feeling satisfied with the emotional atmosphere that they created for themselves. So it's really a good time, Virgo, to be happy with what you did, because there was accomplishment coming from the last year, coming from the last cycle. And you've got to step into the first week of April acknowledging that progress, that accomplishment, because it brings you so much creative potential for the future, being rooted down by the King of Wands. The King of Wands is all about passion, creativity, vitality, and having that burst of energy to suddenly create something. So it seems to me, Virgos, if you can't accept that you did accomplish, that you did achieve something, you're going to be sapping yourself of creative vitality. So you need to take time in the first week to think about what you accomplished and give yourself credit. Give yourself credit where your credit is due, Virgos, whether it be the money that you made, the codependent relationship that you left, or the breakup that you did cope from. Give yourself credit where you deserve it, because that credit is what bursts you off into the future. This could also be somebody coming in during the first week, although I feel that it is more an aspect of yourself with the King of Wands. But for some Virgos, you're going to experience a more mature Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo energy coming in. That does give you a lot of creative energy. This is also a very spicy relationship, a very excitable relationship if it does come in for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of those signs, but these people portray themselves or are influenced by those fire signs. So they can really influence you to move forward towards your goals, Virgos. Because Virgo is a very goal-oriented sign, and it can be really good when Virgo gets some fire energy, because you're an earth sign. So if you don't have much fire energy naturally, you're very structured and consistent in your goal process. And sometimes you lack that creative burst of energy to really take you like 3 steps higher versus, navigating through each and every one when it might not have been necessary. So it's a good time to allow in fiery people or fiery energy to help you skip a few steps that you've already been through. So the first week is beautiful, though, Virgos. I love that combination of energies with the World and the King of Wands. As long as you accept how great you are, honestly, Virgos, you're doing great in the first week. So in the second week, you have the 9 of Swords reversed, rooted down by the 7 of Pentacles. You're thinking too much about the past in the second week, and this is a theme for you over all of April, and it's the only problem area potentially for you guys, because that's not where it has to be right now for you all. You have culminated. You are where you are. It's a good time to look forward and actually reach out towards your goals and start doing something new. Like start a project that you've never started before, because you finally have the energy, and it seems like time too. You might be getting more time as well, or you can give yourself more time if you choose to start a project that you never thought that you could follow through on. And it seems that you learn a lot about yourself and other people through doing this project. But where you're not learning a lot about other people right now, Virgo, is by obsessing on the past or obsessing over minute details of the way other people were to you. It's not a time to be overanalyzing the way that you were or the way that you communicated yourself to other people. Like the inflection of your voice, the way you hold yourself or posture yourself. It's not a good time to be hyper analytical about that, because sometimes you guys are, because you really notice that in other people, and it's a good time to not need so much of yourself, okay? Especially if you're thinking about a situation from the past, you don't need to be so critical about the way that you were, because you can't change that, obviously. But it seems like you're trying to use a past version of yourself to judge how you're moving forward, which is good. But honestly, Virgos, you can just start anew, because we're in Aries time now, moving into April, and Aries doesn't really use energy from the past to move forward. That's not what the inherent energy of Aries is about. So you can really just start anew and start freshly here if you choose. The 9 of Swords and 7 of Pentacles are all about thinking about the past and really analyzing the past and reflecting. It's not really the time. I would give it at least until Cancer time in June and July before you get too crazy with this. Now you can just reach out for your goals, Virgo, and be confident with the burst of energy that you receive in the first week that you're supported and that you don't have to think too much about the way that people are or the way that you were. Okay, this could also be a sleep problem that's coming forward. Some of you may be struggling with an insomnia or an anxiety or something that's like a fear during the nighttime, I see in the second week. and maybe this is something that's also ending for you. There is a message that is ending, and maybe just honor it for a bit longer, and I think that it will culminate and you will experience an ending of that more difficult energy. Okay, so moving in to the third week, you guys have the Queen of Wands reversed over the Seven of Wands. So lots of wands for you guys. So again, this creative energy, these creative people, it seems that they may be reminding you of people from your past, maybe, and that might be why you're sort of stuck in the past in the second week, because the Queen of Wands showing up reversed, it's like you don't really like that. It's kind of fallen out of favor with you. Maybe it reminds you of a past version of yourself or somebody that you didn't get along with very well. This could also be someone that comes back who has changed, a very like fiery, popular, eccentric type of energy that comes back and is not quite the same that they used to be. And it makes you, again, think about how you were, how they were, and it puts you back in the past. Again, you got to move forward from it. I see potentially some conflict in the third week. It is kind of a feminine energy, but there is a message that you are on higher ground, having the Seven of Wands, but it's kind of something that you do have to stand your ground with as well. You can't really be too offensive. It's not a time to, be preemptive and try to, cut somebody off at the source. Like, you've just got to be defensive if that's what it comes to be. If there is conflict, you've just got to hold your ground and not really be offensive per se, because there might be a lot more people on this person's side than you realize. And you don't want to wind up in a situation like the Ten of Swords, which you have in the fourth week, where you feel betrayed and really ganged up on and not able to make choices for yourself, which often comes forward with the Ten of Swords, where you feel like you don't have volition, or you feel like choices are not yours to be made. I do feel that this Queen of Wands could be a romantic energy as well, and it can be male or female. This is just, again, the feminine fire principle. So I feel that this could be a past relationship, and it seems that they are coming forward, and it's kind of like a test for you, Virgo, to see if you kind of jump back to the past or you move forward. I'm not saying that by reconnecting with these people you're necessarily jumping back into the past, but it all depends on what your nature is right now. Like, are you the type of Virgo who struggles to see people's transformations, that struggles to move relationships into the present and realize what they've lost and what they've gained? Or do you struggle more to see how people have changed? If you don't struggle so much to see how people have changed and you can accept changing energy, then it's okay to reconnect with people from your past right now. But it's very important that you make sure that you're not expecting people to be a way that they were in the past, because that seems to lead you feeling betrayed and feeling less free, because moving into the fourth week, you do have that Ten of Swords rooted down by the Seven of Cups. So you might potentially be seeing things in people that don't exist. You might be playing people up or playing people down, but I see it's like you see a lot of potential in a lot of people around you, and it may not actually be there. Some people may be reminding you of a difficult place that you were in the past, and you remember the potential that you had, therefore you try to find it in other people. And that's not leading you to the best place right now, Virgo. It's too much. It's too much thought. It's too much analysis for this time of the year. Again, it's like easy beginnings. Things should feel easy right now. If things don't feel easy in some form of fashion, like something's not right. If something doesn't feel and of course it's okay for some things to feel difficult, but there should be some aspect of your life right now, whether it be the emotions, the finances, or the health, that feels really easy. That feels like you don't really have to do anything for it. That feels like it's been reborn. If there's not, you're trying too hard to find things in other people. You're trying too hard to create a reality for other people. So do think about that, Virgo. Do think about other people in your life right now, what your expectation is of them. Do you need to have an expectation of them? And then does that correlate with where you're actually at on your own journey? It seems like that's really the main theme coming forward for you guys. And, having the Death card as your center theme, which is tying all of these energies together, it's like this is bringing forth a major transformation for you. And it's the potential in other people that's causing you to transform, because it's really signaling to you that people are so different. Whereas you may have been in a similar situation to somebody with a lot more potential and ability to rise, it is a good sign for you from the universe that maybe this person just wants to stay where they are. This person just wants to stay kind of far down and, in the underworld per se. So when you were in their place, you wanted to get out of that space. So it's like through realizing the difference in people's intentions and desires, that triggers this huge transformation for you. And death and Ten of Swords, that's always difficult to have in the same reading. So that is breakup energy as well. So this is a good time for breakups though. Honestly, like this time of the year, there are definitely much worse times. Like it is a good time for endings, a good time to, let things be in the past and just move forward. You don't need to, like this, the whole theme of like enduring relationships and having endurance and pushing through to try to save something that maybe doesn't exist anymore. That's just a very tiring, vibration lowering, wavelength to be on right now. So if breakups are happening for Virgos out there, it's a really good time to think about how you can transform through the breakup, how you can change your life through endings, through loss, versus being very sad about that or wallowing in that loss. It's a great time to be fiery and to be Aries. Like if you have any Aries in your field right now, Virgo, it's a great time to be around Aries because they seem to understand this very well, and they may be able to help this transformational process. And fire signs in general, but especially Aries, it will be good to be around right now. And, I'm rooting for you guys. I think that you have amazing potential. Having the World and the King of Wands together, that's beautiful. The rest of the reading struggles a little bit, but just realize the beauty that you have going into all of this, through the first week, through the beginning of April. You have so much power and ability and adaptability right now. So just honor that for what it is, because that can't be denied regardless of what else happens. And anyway, I did a guided meditation, Virgos, for equinox time, and that will be good to do for sure all the way through April to kind of understand where, how the energies are shifting and, how to move forward. So I would love it if you guys would check that out. That should be popping up on the screen any second. It'll be the center video, most likely, unless I change it around. Also on this screen, you can book a private reading with me. That should be in the top right-hand corner. It's the red and green link. And you can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And check the description box for any more exciting links. And I will be seeing you guys in May for sure. I'm rooting for you. Good luck, Virgos.